Josh in the Dalles, Oregon, watching us on Free Speech TV. You are on the air with me and Nina Turner. Hey, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Nina. Nice to talk with you. I wanted to ask you about the recent election in Seattle. They created a People's Party. Some of the activists that worked with Shama Sawant, who's a city council member, independent socialist in Seattle. They supported two other people running for one for city council and another one for mayor. And they've both kind of the city council candidate is still in a running, but they both ran against sort of progressive Democrats that were supported heavily by labor, and they've kind of both gotten beat. And the mayoral race is kind of concerning because now it looks like an establishment candidate and sort of a more corporate Democrat are running. They're the two that are going into the general election. The two major progressive candidates beat each other. One was running as a Democrat, the other one running as a People's Party. And then I also wanted to ask you about, I guess there's a conference or a big event that's happening with Cornel West and Shama Sawant, and they're calling for a draft Bernie push
In a third-party context.
A national
Josh,
People's Party.
Yeah,
So anyway,
Josh, is that your question? Is, what are your thoughts on this third-party pitch? Is that?
Yeah. Well, if you followed the Seattle race at all, number one, and number two, also this push to get Bernie to create a third party, similar to how the Republicans are.
Yes, thank you, Josh. Wow. Well, I did not follow that Seattle race quite real closely.
Me neither, so I can't comment on the accuracy or lack thereof.
I don't know if Josh's point is whether or not he thinks that they canceled each other out and maybe there should have been some more planning and collaboration in those races. But I will say this is America, and people have a right to run. We compete for those seats. And the competition is good. It really is. And although if you're the incumbent, I've been an incumbent, and, you look, you say, I've served well. How dare somebody run against me? That's just your human thought.
Sure.
But anybody running for office, whether they hold the office or they're running for the first time, you got to earn those votes. And that is what makes democracy robust. To the extent that people believe that they deserve these seats or even own these seats, that's when we have a problem in this country. So I applaud folks running for office.
So, but at what does our revolution have any position on whether Bernie should run as a People's Party candidate or some new political party should be created? I always assumed that you were supportive of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, our revolution does not have a position on that, and the senator has said time and time again that he wants to make the Democratic Party better. He went on this unity tour with Chairman Tom Perez, and folks saw the energy all across the country, and he was there. People really responded. People came out for him because he was involved. But the senator is really trying really hard. Now, he critiques the Democratic Party. He will critique them. He said sometimes that, it seems as though the Democratic Party is on the Titanic, certain people on the Titanic. They don't care if it goes down as long as they got, front row seats. That is a strong critique of a party, though, that he is trying very much to help, to change. He knows he can't do it by himself. And that's why our revolution exists, to transform the Democratic Party.
Yes, good morning, and thank you for both of you for all you do. I wanted to make the comment, when we go round and round and talk about our political responsibilities and our citizenship, and people are often asking you, Tom, what can they do, especially when it comes to how the Republicans are always stealing the elections with their gerrymandering and their voter fraud. And I just feel, having lived on the East Coast and now being a resident here in Oregon, that if people were to petition their legislators to have mail-in voting, we can do away with all the discussion about what lines at the polls and what's rigged. And, I just feel like the Democrats should really come up with a campaign to really drive, that type of action, and I think that the results would be more honest and wouldn't have all this.
Yeah. Patrice, let's get Senator Turner's thoughts on this. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Louise and I lived in Oregon when it was around the time that they introduced mail-in voting, and they went from being kind of in the middle of the country in terms of voter participation to being one of the top 1 or 2 states. I mean, I don't remember the exact numbers. 68% sticks in my head, but some really large number of people started voting. Once it got real easy, they just mail a ballot to you. There literally are no polling places in Oregon. Right. Thoughts?
Ohio has a mix. You still go to the polls, but to your polling location, but you can mail in too. I mean, anything that gives more people more access and takes away the barriers, we should push. We should push for automatic voter registration, which is, a pillar in the People's Platform. But I think Patrice is on to something. There are some people, though, who still like to go to that polling place. It's a feeling about it. I'm one of those people. Yeah. Probably because of my heritage more than anything, but I like to go there and commune with my neighbors and my community. But absolutely, states in this country should do what is necessary to enfranchise as many people as we can, and mailing in the ballot is one good way to do that.
Hey, Kenny, you're on the air with Senator Turner.
Hey, thank you both for taking my call. Ms. Turner, one of the questions I have a statement and a question. It seems like the state of Ohio here has given up on state and local candidates here, that we would continue to run people like Ted Strickland for governor, knowing that don't work. And my question is, if the Democratic Party was seen to fight, why doesn't it fight as hard against the anti-voter legislation? Just like here in Ohio, they decided to scrub the rolls of anyone who didn't vote in 2 elections. We have to get those voters back. And what is the Democratic Party doing to ensure that these anti-voter registration laws are pushed back and to get those voters back?
Okay, and the senator has to leave at the bottom of the hour, so we've only got 30 seconds for you to answer.
Wow, that's a deep question. I mean, listen, I know Governor Strickland, he's really a good man, and he ran for that Senate race, and I get it. The Democratic Party can do more. I want to encourage all of us to do more as well. The purge is ridiculous. It's terrible. When I come back again, we can talk about the Help America Vote Act. Some of that purge is linked to that, but people like John Husted has taken it a step further than it needs to go. Democrats should always be in the business of enfranchisement.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. So from the gutting of the VRA to what is happening in states like mine and other states, South Carolina, North Carolina, all across this country, we should always do it, whether it's popular or not, because it really is the foundation of this democracy. One woman, one man, one vote.
Amen. Nina Turner, thanks so much for being
here. Thank you, Tom. So good to
having you in the studio.